Hey everyone, Jake MTG here, and we got a new standard brew today. So the one card that I was super excited for, even though it's super janky, is Captive Audience. So it's a 7-drop, 1 red, 1 black, 5 colorless, and when it enters the battlefield, it enters on your opponent's side of the field, so they can take control of it. And at the beginning of their upkeep, they get to choose one out of the 3 choices that haven't been chosen yet. The first choice is their life total becomes 4. They discard their hand, or their opponent creates 5 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. So that's pretty gross. They have really 3 bad decisions to make, actually. So if you get there to 7 mana. And how did we get there for 7 mana? We have a lot of kill spells. We have some creatures to help block. And so let's go through that. The first creature that we're going to be talking about, it's going to be the Lich Knight, and he is a 4-drop 4/5 with Menace. But the cool thing about him is, since we're all about late game as well, if we get there to 10 mana, we can kick him, and he creates 8 2/2 black zombie knight creatures tokens. And just with him on the board, we will be swinging with for 20 power. And so if they don't have anything to block with, it's like game over. And then the next creature that we have is going to be Spawn of Mayhem, and he is a 4-drop, 2 black, 2 colorless, 4/4. And if you deal damage that turn, you can deal, you can cast him for 3 mana, which is 2 black, 1 colorless. And but the thing is with him, at the beginning of your upkeep, he deals 1 damage to each player. But then if you have 10 or less life, put a +1/+1 counter on him. So once you get down to 9, 8, 7, he keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you keep swinging away, and he has trample. So that's pretty cool. And so it's kind of good against control decks. Wears them down, and then you can start swinging in. And the next creature after him, which I love also, is Rectus the Showstopper. He is a 6-drop, 1 red, 1 black, 4 colorless, and he has Flying Trample. And when he enters the battlefield, you flip a coin. And then for each creature that isn't a demon, devil, or imp, destroy each creature whose coin comes up with tails. So he's kind of like a board wipe, but by chance. So hopefully you can get those tails rolling, flipping in, and then we can try to control their board state with that. The next creature that we have here is the Haunt of Hightower. He's 6-drop, flying, lifelink, and whenever he attacks, the defending player discards a card. And with that, each time they discard a card from anywhere, put a +1 counter on him. And the good thing about him is we have multiple ways to discard cards in this deck. So he just keeps getting bigger, and bigger. And then the only planeswalker that we have in the main board would be Angrath, and he is pretty sweet. He's been going up in price recently, so he's going to be seeing play definitely. His +1 is each opponent discards a card, and they lose 2 life, which is pretty nice. Once you get that Captive Audience down, and they have have 4 life, 2 ticks and they're done. Their next one is they gain control. We get to gain control of a creature of our choice. We can untap it, and it gains haste. We can either swing with something big what they have, or if it's 3 mana or less, we sacrifice it. We kill their creature as well. And then -8, each opponent loses life equal to the number of cards in his or her graveyard. So with all the discard that we have, and then with the audience out, it's gonna be awesome. And then we're gonna go into the spells that we have. We have Lava Coil, deal 4 damage to any creature, 2 mana, which is perfect. We can get rid of those pesky phoenixes that are going around, and so that is definitely what we needed. Next thing that we have is Mastermind's Acquisition, and it's a 4 mana, basically get anything that you need to deal with on the board at the moment. So we can either go through our sideboard, we can go through our main board, get a kill spell to get rid of a creature, we can get, Vraska's Contempt to get rid of a planeswalker, so it's pretty sweet. Then the next one is Vraska's Contempt. Exile creature, planeswalker. It's almost in every single black deck that's going around because it is pretty solid. And the next one that we have is Carnival and Carnage, which, for 1 mana, it deals 1 damage to a target creature, and then or planeswalker, and then deals 1 damage to that permanent's controller. So we can get rid of those, mana dorks. Once they put on turn 1, we can kill it. Cut them down for ramping, which is pretty cool. And then also with those explorer creatures, they're 2/1s when they first come in, just kill before they get their counters out. So that's basically it for the main board. I feel like it's pretty sweet. I've liked the deck, from just like fishbowling it. And then let's go into the sideboard. Basically we have, before that, we have the, land base. I haven't really, went through the mountains and swamps and make sure that the mana is correct yet, because I want to actually play some games with it and see what we need to do. But it's kind of even across the board. In the sideboard we have 4 Duresses for against control decks to get rid of those counters, get rid of those enchantment destroying spells, so we can keep our carnival, our captive audience alive. And so you leave them, leave the enchantment there, not destroyed or countered. Then we have cast downs to get rid of any of the creature decks that are going around, because they're definitely going to be red green ramp. That's going to be really good, but we need to cut them down. Next one is Lava Coil. The Phoenixes are pretty annoying, so we see those, we sideboard those in, get rid of other board wipes or creature spells, and then we can go from there. And then we have Rix. If we can be more aggressive, we can add more creatures into the deck. And also when he enters the battlefield, we discard a card, that we draw a card. And if we dealt damage, that turn, we can pay 4 mana, 1 black, 1 red, 2 colorless, and then we either discard a whole hand and then draw 3 cards. The next card that we have in our sideboard is Ritual of Soot. 2 of destroy other creatures for a mana cost 3 or less, which is pretty simple. Get rid of those token decks, which is pretty annoying. Next one, it's gonna be Awaken the Erstwhile, which for me it's a pet card. I like it against control decks. We can discard all their hands, and then we get they get zombies, we get zombies. Go from there. We have our board wipes, so we can deal with it. But we really want to have them have no hand, so we can cast our audience right then and there. Then we have another Carnival against those ramp decks, which is going to be pretty gross. But let me know what you guys think of the deck. If you're going to consider playing captive audience, let me know. And I hope you guys have fun brewing with this new set, and leave in the comments what deck you are going to be trying to build. All right, thank you.